This video introduces the Child Custody Best Interests of the Child standard. So the power of the state is so strong in determining the best interests of the child. For many people, this is what brings them to law school. For many families, this is the only interaction where the state has exerted its power over a family. The impact of custody disputes can really shape one's lives, can drive one to attend to law school, but also the uncertainty about child custody determinations can lead many marriages to stay together through great hardship and conflict because of real fears about what would happen with the children in state-based decision-making. So client counseling is absolutely critical to this unit. The first question a divorcing couple with children will likely ask you, the individual client you represent will want to know, will I lose my kids? How much time will I see my kids? And it's the single most important issue driving many families to spend the money they're going to spend on a lawyer fighting for time and relationships with their children. It's also the last question that many clients will be asking you for as long as 18 years out with college funding and child support, keeping the power of the state strong and long lasting. This is a highly discretionary standard, and so we really need to dig in here on client counseling and understanding the power of the state. The concepts that we study in this unit are probably the easiest concepts we study in the entire course. The best interest of the child standard is not hard. Where it's complex is how do we advocate for our client to get a positive outcome. This is the work of great family law lawyering, understanding your client and arguing on their behalf, but in ways that lift up the family. So our objectives for this unit are to compare and critique how we've historically thought about child custody and how we think about it today. Huge swings we're going to study, from predictable and gendered to unpredictable and gender neutral. We're going to study the power of the state in determining child custody and how we advocate for our clients. The standard is straightforward, but our clients hire us to advocate and persuade on their behalf. We're going to learn to apply the best interest of the child factors to a specific client intake. This will be on your exam. You will make best interest of the child arguments on behalf of clients on your exam. So we want to keep strong reasoning skills and really work with the facts that we learn from our clients and the facts that I give you on the exam. And we want to advise our clients really thoughtfully using strong, accurate terminology and rationales. The difference between a presumption and a preference and a permissive approach is great. The difference between physical custody and legal custody. Lots of important terms we need to define here. So our reading for this week introduces us to the idea of the tender years doctrine. So the tender years doctrine gives us a sense of how else this world could work. So we're going to study the best interest of the child as this great indeterminate framework. Tender years was a very gendered, straightforward framework for determining child custody. The mother, for children of tender years, would presumptively get custody unless there was an argument otherwise. From a client counseling perspective, that is very advisable. We can easily predict for our clients what will likely occur, and there might actually be less conflict in this framework. And preceding tender years, if we go back early in the semester to the Joanna Grossman reading, you can remember that before that we thought of children as property, and property belonged to the father, to the male spouse. And that was a gendered presumption. So we have a historic gendered presumption for fathers, a historic gendered presumption for mothers. And now we move into the best interests of the child. So to kick off this unit, I want to lead us through an exercise. So here I have pictured these wildly adorable bambinos that are ages 3 and 6 months. And what we want to do on their behalf is decide the best child care setting for them, for each of them, again, ages 3 and 6 months. So the presumption underlying the best interest of the child standard is that we, in fact, act in the best interest of our children. So let's see what this looks like. So what I want you to do is make a few assumptions. I want you to assume that money is not an issue and that every possible child care option is available to you, that the kids that I've depicted here are generally healthy, no major developmental issues. The youngest, the baby who's 6 months, here has had a few ear infections and strep throats, but is generally healthy. What I want you to do is identify for yourself what child care setting is in the best interest of these children. You can do the same thing for both children, or you can take different outcomes. And you'll see the next prompt in our course is a discussion board. And I want you to state your position, and I'm going to give you the options to choose from in a moment. State your position and defend it respectfully, and ask some probing questions of your classmates who may have chosen the same options or may have chosen different options, and try to understand where each of you are coming from. Why might we choose different options? These are the choices, 4 choices. 1, and again, you can make the same choice for both children or different choices. The children could be placed at home with a parent or another biological family member, maybe grandma, but at home full-time with a biological family member. 2, the child could be placed in a daycare setting, like an institutional setting, with trained teachers who are certified by the state and regulated by the state through state inspections, state ratios, state training requirements, etc. 3rd, the children could be in a group care setting in a private home with a few other kids from the neighborhood. So the lady down the street babysits a few kids in the neighborhood, and the children go there. Or finally, the children could be in the family home, but with an outside babysitter. Think here like a nanny kind of situation, who comes in and cares for the children. Maybe he or she takes the children to scheduled lessons, activities. So your task is to pick, of these 4 options, what do you conclude is in the best interest of the children? State your conclusion on the discussion board and engage and probe each other in your decision making.